everybody, and welcome back to Christopher Garza Real Estate News. So we have new construction, previously owned residential, and condominiums. Which one is the market really asking for? These are the kind of stats we're going to go over today, and hopefully the questions we're going to answer for you. Before we do that, if you wouldn't mind smashing that subscribe button as well as hitting the like button, it really does help the algorithm out and get this out to people that either are living in the areas that I'll be speaking about or are potentially thinking about moving to those areas. So, again, no selling involved in this, just great information for anybody that's interested in these areas. So, with these 7 day stats that we have going on here, with the first statistics is just going to be the last 7 days of the residential homes. And this is also going to include the new construction, but it's not going to include condominiums. And we're seeing 52 new listings and about 91 pending at the moment. So almost two homes going off the market for every home going on the market. And one big number to pay attention to as well is this 37 listing price reduced that we have here. That's 37 homes with 52, I'm sorry, going on the market at the moment. 37 homes is a lot of homes to miss that price mark and have to come down. So that's one thing that interest rates are really kind of showing right now is the fact that overpriced homes or homes that just kind of didn't hit their mark are really having to sit on the market for a little while longer and then having to accept a lower original price than what they were going on the market with. So it's kind of the a double-edged sword at that moment, and you're really fighting an uphill battle whenever you go on the market overpriced with the interest rates and how they're looking at the moment. So with the interest rates, it shows here that it has gone up 0.02%, but it's been going down since the end of the month. And February 26th was what shows here is the peak price at the end of this month at 7.12, and it's just gone down since the February 26th, and just slightly went up from what was reported earlier today. So how does that affecting the market, and what are we seeing from residential and new construction as well as uh, the previously owned residential? Well, as far as new listings, this is what we're going to be going over. We have 254 for the month of February for previously owned, and then 181 for the month of January previously owned. Last couple months, going up slightly, but as opposed to the previous couple years, in January, February. Last year, super slow year, and getting more homes than last year is not really a great thing to kind of compare it to. Even the year prior to that, in 2022, with the interest rates going up after 2021, in March of February 2021, I'm sorry, yeah, March, February, and also April is whenever they shot up around that year. A lot of people just decided, I went ahead and refinanced. There's no way I'm going to get into that higher interest rates and potentially higher payments throughout the longevity of that loan. So they either decided not to go on the market, they're holding out, or for whatever reason, they just love their neighborhood. And so with that, we're not seeing a lot of homes going on the market. New construction is taking uh, kind of a bigger part than they have been in the past decade or so. There's only been a couple of times that beat this 91 within the area that I'm talking about. This 91 new construction homes on the market. Uh, First one was about 5 years ago, and then we'd have to go back to 2018 and 2017 for the other numbers that were had those high listings of new construction. So new construction definitely starting out really strong this year. Um, Residential not too strong, especially when you compare it to last year. It's a little bit better, but not really. And then condominiums, they are getting a little bit better. However, they're sitting on the market a little bit longer, which we'll show you later on. So this is going to be year to date numbers. So last year's year to date the previous year's year to date, so all the way up from January and February. These are going to be the stats that are showing for pendings. So we are seeing, even with not that many homes on the market, we're seeing more pendings so far uh, when you compare it to last year's numbers. Now, again, it is going to be right around how many homes are on the market. That's probably going to be right around how many homes are coming off the market, and maybe with a couple scragglers that were either overpriced and or whatever mark was missed or decided not to go off the market. Those numbers kind of fell off as the year went on. So again, 40 more homes pending at this moment, and then 90 homes less when you compare it to last year, from the year last year, and then we have about 130 when you compare it from these 2 years. So you are seeing a little bit of a bump in inventory, but it's really not the big bump that is required to fulfill all these buyers' needs to, you know, infill and live in the parts of Seattle that they really want to get into. So when you have the average days on market, this is really where you see the previously owned kind of set up, get a nice little sprint and pull away from the competition as far as what the buyers are looking for and what the market is really looking for at the moment. So previously owned residential, you have average days on market at 26, and it's been on the lower side for most of the numbers and the stats here. A couple times it went up a little bit higher just due to interest rates being a little higher, so purchasing power not being as much, and certain homes probably just sat on the market a little longer, or you know, many reasons in why these statistics could say that. However, you are seeing, for the most part, that these previously owned residential uh, homes, when you compare it to new construction and condominiums, are consistently beating them out. So with new construction, however, and condominium, they're kind of switching places right now, and they have a couple times within the past year, but right now going into the spring market, new construction is really doing a lot. So they are doing a lot with getting the homes out there as well as getting them off the market really quickly. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the springtime and with all those numbers. Now, you can see here these crazy numbers. That was right before the interest rates decided to shoot up in February and March of 2022. I think I said 2021 earlier, my mistake. In 2022, whenever they did, shoot up a couple years ago, that it really affected how much the purchasing power and what people were willing to spend, and that's a lot of what's going on in people's thinking is, oh well, my neighbor just listed their home a couple years ago, it just went for a ridiculous amount overpriced and it went off the market really quickly. Well, that's not what's happening right now with interest rates at the moment, and inventory as well. When you don't have as much inventory, you're comparing certain homes to certain homes, really, but at the end of the day, there's not a lot going on. So well-priced homes are really, really being looked at, whereas when you compare them to homes that seem way overpriced to the home that they just looked at, it's not going to sit well, and a little bit of a price change probably isn't going to be enough for them to change their mind, and they might have just already forgot about it, sadly. So you don't want to play catch up. Definitely got to hit that price. And, marketing at the end of the day is extremely important, because putting your home in the MLS is not marketing. Just putting it out there and praying that it sells, and, that's not enough. So definitely think about marketing as well in these instances, and why some of these homes didn't sell or maybe didn't sell for overpriced, as well as, you can see here, interest rates really affect what people are willing to spend. And with the percentage of original list price, again, previously owned residential is going to come out on top, with condominiums again kind of sitting on the bottom. So new construction really, really doing well at the moment, and a lot of it has to do with Seattle changing kind of the zoning restrictions and what it's doing with the zoning, as well as King County, doing a lot about that as well. People taking advantage of that. So That's also why you see, investors investing in these residential older homes because they see the future plans for that. So, any questions, feel free to reach out. And if not, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And I'll see you next week.